3 decades after her death, the Queen Ranavalona I, her tomb was opened by foreign soldiers. Hey, it's me, Joana again. So we are in part 2 of Queen Ranavalona I. Now remember, in part 1, there was a blast during the burial ceremony. People have already started. There was a blast. Yes, the funeral still continued. For the Malagasys, death was not an ending, but it was a passage. The queen was carried to her final resting place. This was within the royal tombs of Himanga, the heart of the kingdom spirit. So she was laid to rest according to the ancient customs, and the people believed her spirit joined the ancestors to watch over them. So she had a very important significance even after her death. But the story didn't end here. It actually just began, because now there is a new twist that brought the whole gist about her not being buried for more than 30 years. Fast forward to 1895, roughly 3 decades after she passed away, Madagascar was no longer free. 3 decades later, the French, they invaded in 1895, capturing the city and forcing the last queen, also called Ranavalona II, forcing her into exile. So Madagascar falls to French invasion. It was not an easy fall. Resistance fled across the island, especially from the Menalamba warriors. Hey, I hope I pronounce your names well, Menalamba warriors, who fought to protect their culture, and they rejected every colonial rule. So remember Himanga that I talked about, that's the sacred royal hills where they place the ancestors, the kings, where they're buried. Now, that became the biggest threat to the French invaders. Imagine that. A burial area is now a threat to French soldiers, French colonizers, French invaders. Why? To the French colonizers, sacred places like Himanga were dangerous. They were like symbols of unity and resistance places where the spirits of the old queens, the rulers, still ruled the heart of the people. So it was a symbol that somehow symbolized spiritual unity, a fortress of unity for the people. And that, the French people, they fear that. They were afraid of that. These kind of symbols, they build identity. They make you stronger in your identity. So it was necessary. It was a tactic for the French colonizers to destroy. They wanted to destroy that symbol of unity. They're like, no, just having that will make the people powerful, know their heritage, know what came before them, know their history. We have to destroy it to dismantle them, to disenfranchise their mentality. Does this sound familiar? So in March 1897, the French made a shocking decision. They ordered the royal tombs of Himanga to be opened. Soldiers climbed that sacred hill. They removed the bodies of the kings and queens, including Queen Ranavalona I, and carried them to the rover of Antananarivo. So this is where this thing started now. This whole gist of 30 years not being buried, 30 years unburied, because this is 3 decades later. They opened back her tomb and removed her. Now to the Malagasy, this was not just a desecration. It was an act of violence against their ancestors themselves. This was a spiritual catastrophe. It caused a wound in their nation. The sacred connection between the living and the dead was broken. But the French, their own is they want to defeat. So anything that's going to empower the people, they will destroy it. But what they did, destroyed the spirit, the soul, the belief of the people, the connection to the ancestors. So from that act of violence, the myth began to grow. She's not been buried. She has been unburied for over 30 years. So from that moment, the story began to take different twists. So join me later in part 3, where we will conclude the story of Queen Ranavalona I. Did she really stay unburied for over 3 decades?